Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Sister, all you have to do is just pay attention to what's in front of you right now. Now listen, I've spoken into this, what we're going to talk about today in the podcast, a bunch of times. I talk to it with coaching clients all the time, but I think it is worth repeating because we as women have a lot of shit going on in our lives. We are wives, we are mothers, we're businesswomen, we're taking care of ourselves, figuring our shit out. And we tend to, as women, take a lot of stuff on too, right? We may take care of a bulk of the kid stuff, home stuff, family stuff, and business, and marriage, and yourself. And I think we're quite capable. And those of us that want to do these things, we can do these things. But here's where you begin to fuck yourself. When you begin to get so far ahead of what's happening a week from now. So let me give you some context with this. So today is Tuesday, the 22nd. You're getting this about a week out that I record these podcast episodes. I have been dealing with a swollen calf for the last 4 days. Like, I mean, freakishly swollen. Like, it's twice the size. I can only wear my Lulu kind of loose pants, not even really tights, because like it's so freakishly weird. If I was to wear tights, even though the compression is probably a positive thing for this right now, I look like a freak. And my foot is swollen and my ankle is swollen. Super sexy, not super sexy. I have a webinar tomorrow, a masterclass on how to heal your marriage, which will already be done by the time that you're hearing this episode. I've been working like mad to promote it and preparing it. Actually going right now, just have sitters with the kids, just had a massage to try to help with this freakish calf. Went to my chiropractor today, and like it's not really releasing. It looks a lot like something which is DVT, deep vein thrombosis, which would require that I go get this checked, which would require that they would inject a drug in to kind of like break down whatever's happening, because there's always the danger for something like this that it could be a clot, a blood clot. Right? And blood clot in your leg is one thing. If now that goes up to your brain or your heart, it's game fucking over. But I've been not wanting to really see that, acknowledge that, accept that, and it still could be the case. But so I have a webinar coming up. 2 days after that, I am taking a helijet over to Vancouver. So I'm on Vancouver Island, so across the ocean is Vancouver, city Vancouver, to do a boudoir shoot with my good friend Jennifer Williams, jenniferwilliams.com. You need to check her out if you ever want to do boudoir, because she's the best in the world, in my opinion. She's actually very well respected in her industry. I'll put a link in the show notes. And actually, is it Jennifer Williams or jenwilliams.com? Anyways, either way, I'll get that in the show notes for you. And I have a freakish leg. It is my birthday present to me. I've done, 2 other shoots with Jen over the last 2 years, and I did one just before I turned 40, and I turned 49 tomorrow. And then my husband is meeting me over there. We're having overnight date nights in Vancouver. Someone's going to be with the kids. And then 3 days after that, I traveled to Boise to go to a seminar, part of my business coaching program. There's a lot of shit going down. And then when I get back on the Friday, my husband then has a live event with Men of Iron. He has 18, 19 men that are coming up to the island. We got a lot of shit going on right now. This bitch doesn't have time for this right now. Oh, also, by the way, I have a boxing tournament on June the 9th. That's in 2.5 weeks, which I sense, with this being the third thing that's come up with the last 3 tournaments that I'm supposed to compete in, I'm literally just kind of surrendering. I'm like, universe, I get you. Something happens every single time. I am not someone that shirks from something like it's, difficult or challenging. In fact, I tend to fucking walk right into that. That's what was one of the reasons of doing this boxing tournament in the first place. And I've just come to realize with a lot of reflection on this and revelations and journaling, conversations with my friend Jill, and just simply listen to the voice, it's like, Karen, you are not supposed to fight, girl. How many more fucking messages do we need to give you? So I'm like, all right. So with all these things coming up, it has literally just been like, I'm like, okay, so if I can't go to Boise, then I have to let them know, and then I got to cancel the flights. It's like the only way of me not just going completely insane right now and still feeling some sense of calm. Yes, I'm kind of chill after this massage. However, that was, I have this really painful, tight, freakishly swollen. It's a little better, actually, I think. A little, it's like I feel it now, and I'm like, nah, it still feels a little freakishly big, but like better. And I'm doing a float tomorrow, and the day after that, can't get in for massage probably until I get back from Vancouver. But it's literally just like, what is the next thing that I need to do? What's the next thing? And the next thing is I am traveling to Starbucks right now and head down and finishing up all my masterclass webinar slides. I need to get all this stuff ready, get all prepared. I will also have tomorrow morning for that. And then I go live at 1 p.m. PST. After that, depending on what's happening with this calf, if it's still not any better, then I need to go get it checked. So then, because my husband's got all this stuff happening with his business right now, so we got to figure out maybe the babysitter can come watch the kids. I'm still committed to doing the boudoir shoot, so I think we're good to go with that. I've connected with my friend Jen. She's like, no problem. I'm like, hey Jen, so here's the funny thing, because there was 2 other times we're supposed to shoot this year that I rescheduled because of shit that came up, or just Tommy didn't work out. I'm like, I cannot. Like, third time, like, come on. I want to get my sexy pictures. Like, I love the experience of boudoir. It's so empowering and amazing, and I feel beautiful. And so yeah, I messaged Jen. I'm like, hey Jen, this has come up. She's like, no problem. We can, if I need to touch up stuff and make your leg look a little bit better, great. She's like, I've worked with a client who's 95% of the time in a wheelchair, and we made it work. So don't even worry about it. We'll make it work. I'm like, okay, cool. So now that's out of the way, right? It's like all these things, right? It's like, if this continues, also too, it's like, if it was a blood clot, one of the worst things I could do is get in a plane, several tens of thousand feet, however how high the planes get up, and you put that pressure in your body. If there's a clot, that's when there's an issue. So, it's literally just like, what is the next thing? Okay, webinar tonight. Awesome. Teach the webinar tomorrow. Awesome. Oh, and in between those 2, take care of the kids and all that great stuff, right? What's next after that? Okay. So if tomorrow this is not like somewhat better, the swelling's come down, I got to go get this checked. Like, I'm going to go get it checked either way, but I got to go get it checked like now. So that's the next thing. Okay, cool. And then depending on what I find out, I will see what's happening for the boys. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally just like, what is the next thing in front of me? What's the next thing? And again, I know that you need to be aware of what's coming up in the future. I get it. Me too. I know I have until a certain time to cut off date. If I can't make this event, then I need to respectfully let them know, and that I need to cancel flights and hotel. I mean, all that kind of stuff, right? But one thing at a time. What is the thing that's in front of me right now? And I take care of that. Like, that is literally it, sister. That's it. Nothing else. I'm aware of what's coming up, but it's literally the only thing that makes me sane. And it allows me to prioritize really fucking good. It's one of the beautiful things, having a lot of stuff on your plate, a lot of stuff going on with you in your life. A life of more that a lot of you are really craving for. When the women reach out to me, they go, how do you create so many things? And you guys are such like action takers, and like, you just execute on shit and get stuff done. It's like, dude, it's literally just like, what is the next thing in front of me? That's it. It's easy to prioritize. Doesn't mean I'm not so distracted by Facebook and all other shit that's going on. Sure. But what's the thing that's in front of me right now? So here's your more tip for today, then, sister. Where do you need to just be more in the present moment, in the now? And just be like, what is the next thing I need to do, right? Maybe it's a certain result you want to attain with your health. you've spun so out of control and you're like, I want to lose this weight, but then it's the gym and it's nutrition. It's like you just go spinning off, right? Maybe there's something coming up with your kids you need to address. Maybe it's something with your marriage. Listen, this is the message so many of you speak to, which is why I'm teaching a masterclass on marriage. Maybe it's something up in your business and you literally have to take a look at it. So what area of your life are you seeing this with? Maybe it's with your spirituality. Maybe it's in figuring out who the fuck you are. Where is it? First, identify that. You're going to journal all this down. The second piece is just identifying this. What is the next step you need to do? Just the next step. Not step number 10, not even number 2 or number 8. What is the next step you need to take that moves you towards the result that you want in that area of your life? And then the last piece of this is just fucking do that one and then look for the next step. We've become a society of over-planning and over-analyzing and over-achieving. The word comes out to me. It doesn't seem like it's the right word. Over-planning. Overthinking. That's the word. Over-fucking thinking everything. And don't just go, what's the next step in front of me? You're like, well, I don't know. Is it the right step? Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Just the next one. Don't fucking overthink shit. Don't make stuff more complicated. Listen, there's a lot of things in life that are complicated, but there's a lot of things that we make complicated in life that we don't have to. And I'm going to suggest to you that whatever you're trying to produce in your life right now, you're making it way too fucking complicated. What is the next step and do that? Then the next step and do that. Then the next step and do that. And you're going to journal all this down, sister. Whew. So there you go for today. So before you leave, there are 3 things I want to leave you with. Number 1, make sure to subscribe to the Women Want More newsletter. There are a lot of you that aren't in the newsletter yet. Like, you're fucking crazy. I'm going to send you 3 incredible things, how to start your day in power, something I teach called the More 4. I'm going to teach you how to drop stories and create new ones in your life, so how to really remember who you are. These are all powerful video trainings that you'll get, and you'll get VIP access to everything Women Want More. So if you listen to the podcast for a while and you're like, what? Marriage Masterclass? I didn't know about that. Yeah, sweetheart, that's because you weren't on the VIP list, which means that you don't find out about this shit. So to do that, head over to drkarenosborn.com/action guide. You'll get all those cool things that I talked about at the beginning of this, and you'll get access to everything Women Want More. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, join the sisterhood. What the fuck? What are you waiting for? You don't have to do all this stuff alone. There are women like you that are doing this work. And there's power in doing this together, not alone, together. So head over to drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood, and you can sign up for the sisterhood for the first 7 days for a whopping $1. And the third thing, sister, I want you to make sure you subscribe to this podcast. That way you don't miss any episodes. You get every single episode Monday through Friday right onto your phone. I would also like you to rate the podcast and leave a 5-star review. And a word review, by the way. Like, just a 5-star review. Appreciate that. Awesome. But leave a word review, because think of, like, there's a lot of women scanning the podcast going, what should I listen to? Your words have the potential to impact another woman and transform her life. Isn't that awesome? Wouldn't that be amazing for you to take a couple minutes and know that your words could possibly impact another woman around the world? Like, really, this is what this is about, sister. So, rate and review, subscribe to the podcast, leave a written review, and then share this episode up with someone else that you know needs to hear this today. There you go, sister. So I will talk to you in the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from me doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.